Hi, Sawyer. I'm excited to finish our book. Last chapter today. I hope you're feeling better. My voice is still a little hoarse, but I'm feeling a little better. Went outside today and did a little gardening, like cleaning up the garden of the old stuff. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm going to plant this year, though. All right, I hope you were feeling better and you got to go outside. Okay, chapter 21. It's titled Moose versus Boat. So at the end of chapter 20, Mr. Winterberry told Hugo and Boone to jump on the moose to get a ride instead of the boat. He said that the moose would get them there faster. In some ways, riding a moose was not that different from riding in a boat on choppy water. Hugo and Boone swayed from side to side and rocked backward and forward. Once or twice, Sprinkles went into a fast trot, which felt like sailing on a strong river current. But then Sprinkles would spy an acorn or a tree bud and would stop to nibble on it. I still think Sprinkles is a funny name for a big moose. That's something I don't think we'd ever see in real life. People riding a moose. Just think, said Boone, as they rode along. Mr. Winterberry was walking ahead of them, carrying the treasure chest. We can go straight to Uncle Figgy's toy store when we get back and buy a marvelous monster magnet. Just like that. Blammo! Booth snapped his fingers. And then we won't even have to go searching for cryptids anymore, Hugo said. We'll just blow into the marvelous monster magnet and the cryptids will come to us. They were silent for a minute. Then Boone said, which, if you think about it, wouldn't be as much fun as searching for them. Some of our best adventures have been searching for cryptids. Remember the Tommyknocker? I don't remember that one. And don't forget the ripple worms, said Boone. I don't remember the ripple worms either. Were those in the other book? I don't remember them. They were silent for the rest of the trip. The great thing about best friends is they don't always need to say things out loud in order to understand each other perfectly. When they reached Windershin's cavern, Mr. Winterberry put down the treasure chest and helped them off Sprinkles. So, what do you think, moose or boat? Asked Mr. Winterberry. It's close, but I'm sticking with boats, Boone said. He patted the moose. No offense, Sprinkles, but boats don't stop and eat acorns every few minutes. Boone took the 25 nubbins out of his pocket and handed them back to Mr. Winterberry. Thanks so much for the nubbins, he said. But Hugo and I have decided that we don't want a marvelous monster magnet after all. It would take all the excitement out of looking for the monsters ourselves, Hugo said. Ah, Mr. Winterberry nodded. Very wise. Sam and I would have felt exactly the same way. Well, you two have certainly changed my mind about Sasquatches being friends with human, even if I haven't changed your mind about boats. He pulled the treasure chest from his hatband and held it out to Hugo. Keep this safe. You should probably give it to Boone, Hugo said. He has pockets. A Sasquatch doesn't need pockets, Mr. Winterberry said. He just needs a good hat. He took off his hat and put it on Hugo's head. This one is yours now. He tucked the key to the treasure chest back into the hatband. But Mr. Winterberry, I can't take your hat, Hugo objected. Nonsense. I have other hats at home. Anyway, that's my special adventure hat. And you, my young friend, are a born adventurer. Wow, said Hugo, adjusting the hat. Sorry. Wow, said Hugo, adjusting the hat. Thank you. Pockets was the last item on Hugo's list of reasons why it would be fun to be a human. Now, he mentally scratched that off his list, too. Mr. Winterberry hopped on Sprinkles and headed back to his red pouch. And tied his red pouch to Sprinkles' antlers. So this was his pouch with money in it. And I think he had it on his, oh yeah, he had it on his head, under his hat. But now he gave his hat to Hugo, so he can't keep it there. That's a good way to use the moose's antlers, I guess. So long, detectives Hugo and Boone. Here's to many more adventures for all of us. And with a quick pat on Sprinkle's shoulder, they trotted off back into the deep woods. The sky was growing dark now. Sasquatches called this time of day the dimmery. All over the North Woods, humans were snug in their homes, eating their suppers and getting ready for bed. But the dimmery was when Sasquatches came out to play. Outside Winterson's cabin, Sasquatch families were setting up picnic dinners, and squidges were chasing each other. Hugo's classmates were all there. Malcolm and Izzy were playing the ha-ha game. Gigi and Pip were leaping over each other, playing Jiminy, Jiminy, Jump. Even grumpy Roderick was tapping his feet to the music from Mrs. Nuckluck's fiddle, while grown-up Sasquatches danced and laughed and spun around each other. Sasquatches really know how to have fun, said Boone dreamily. Sometimes I wish I was a Sasquatch. So here they are all having fun. So when the humans are going to sleep, the Sasquatches feel like they can come out to play. Sometimes I wish I were a squidge, said Boone. You do? Hugo said, surprised. That's funny. Because sometimes I wish I were a human. Really? Hugo nodded. They were quiet for a moment as they watched some of their little squidges somersault down a short hill, flopping and laughing. But maybe we're fine just being who we are, Hugo said finally. Yeah, Bigfoot and Littlefoot, said Boone. Exactly. Hey, Bigfoot. What? Hugo asked. Feel like somersaulting? Hugo smiled. I always feel like somersaulting, Littlefoot. They joined the little squidges on the hill, tumbling and flopping and laughing the whole way down as the sun set in the deep North Woods. That might be the end. Let me see. Turn the page. And that is the end. That was the last page, the last picture. That was a happy ending. Were you surprised that they didn't get the the Marvelous Monster Magnet? I kind of was. They were working the whole book to save money for it. Then they saved the money and decided that they didn't want it because they'd rather go find the monsters by themselves. I guess that's kind of like, trying to think, like fishing. Would you rather somebody just give you a fish, or would you rather go fishing? I think you'd rather go fishing. I know Grandpa would say he'd rather go fishing than somebody just give him the fish. So I guess they'd rather go find the monsters than somebody just give them to them. All right, that's it, Sawyer. We have to decide if you want to read another book. I think there's 2 more books that this author wrote about different Bigfoot and Littlefoot adventures. Or I have another of that Flat Stanley, the one where the boy gets really flat and goes on adventures. So I have either of those, or if there's another one you can think of if you want to read, you can let me know. Have a good night. Have a good day at school tomorrow. I love you much. Bye.